Good morning, everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about electrical system, instruments in the dashboard, and controls in the tractor. First one is dynamo. Dynamo converts external power to electrical power. Simplified representation of a dynamo has the field coil. Electric current flow through it makes the outer iron frame into an electromagnet. The iron armature completes the magnetic circuit just like putting a nail across the end of a horseshoe magnet. The more current flows in the field coil, the stronger the magnet until a maximum, depending on the metal inside the coil, is reached. The armature winding is a loop of insulated wire joining the two copper commutator segments together. When the armature spins through the magnetic field, it generates a current in a winding. This current then goes via the commutator segment through the brushes and out of the dynamo. Starting motor. Starting motor is a powerful electrical motor that engages the car's flywheel in order to spin the crankshaft. As in all electric motor, the starter is composed of winding of wire that form loops adding at the commutator segment. The armature coil are mounted on the motor's central shaft and the field coil are formed into four or more shoes placed inside the steel frame of the starter. Pressures are used to create electrical contact to the commutator segment, and when current is fed into two of the four brushes, it flows through all the loops of the armature and shoe windings and out the other two brushes. This creates a magnetic field around each loop. As the armature turns, the loop will move to the position where the current flow reverses. This constant reversal of current flow allows the armature and the field coil to repel each other and spin the motor. The greater the current flowing into the coil, the greater the magnetic forces and greater the power of the motor. The copper loop and the field winding are heavy enough to carry a large amount of current with minimum resistance. Since they draw heavy amount of current, they must not be operated on the continuous basis for longer than 30 seconds. After cranking for 30 seconds, it is wise to wait a couple of minutes to let the starter motor dissipate some of its heat. Starter heat quickly, so prolonged use can cause serious damage. A typical symptom of overheating starter motor is extremely slow labor engine cranking. Various wiring design are used in starter motor and one of the most popular is the 4-pole 3-winding setup. Two of the winding are in series with themselves and the armature. One winding does not pass through the armature but goes directly to the ground. This shunt winding aids with additional starting torque. However, as the starter speed increases, the shunt still draw a heavy current and tends to keep starter speed within acceptable limits. Next is battery. The power of the electricity in the tractor is the battery. A battery is an electrochemical device which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. Tractor use lead acid batteries. A lead acid battery uses a series of lead dioxide plates for its positive terminal and porous soft lead for its negative plates. All the plates are arranged alternatively and submerged in the solution of sulfuric acid and water. The positive plate's lead oxide is a component of lead and oxygen. Sulfuric acid is a component of hydrogen and sulfate radial, so the acid's chemical designation is H2SO4. Chemically, when the battery is connected to an external load, it begins to discharge. As that happens, the lead in the positive plate combines with the sulfate of the acid, forming lead sulfate in the positive plate. Oxygen is a positive plate combined with hydrogen from the acid to form water, which reduces the concentration of the acid in the electrolyte. Also, the poor lead in the negative plate combines with the sulfate, forming lead sulfate and making the positive and negative plate more alike in chemical composition. Electrons are released during this reaction, creating electrical current at a specific voltage. Lights. In the lighting system of tractor, the lamps are used for warming purpose and lights for laminating purpose. The main lamps includes the headlamp, the tail lamp, the number plate lamp, the direction indicator lamp and dashboard lamps. The complete lighting circuit consists of a number of individual circuits for a single lamp or a pair of lamp, each with its own switch, live location and earth connection. Horn. The accessories like horn are connected parallel across the battery terminal. It has separate switch. Battery voltage travels through a high current wire through the relay to the horn and also through a small wire through the ignition switch to the relay's low current coil. Important thing is that horn circuit is always hot or live when the ignition switch is turned on, and all that's needed is a path to ground. Odometer. It is an instrument used for measuring the distance traveled by a vehicle. The distance device may be electronic, mechanical, or the combination of both. Mechanical odometer. It starts with an transmission. The transmission system consists a small gear that measures the odometer advancing. This gear is connected to the speedometer drive cable. The other end of this cable is connected to the instrument cluster. The internal transmission gear turns when the engine is turned on and the car start moving. This internal transmission gear motion is conveyed to another set of gear linked to changeable digits by the connected drive cable. Thus, the counting begins from the right side of the group of members. The process continued till the distance traveled by the automobile compels the left side digit to roll over. This counting process repeats until all the adjacent numbers touch their apex value. Then all the digits are set back to 0 and it starts again. Electrical odometer. It is also known as digital odometer. They depends on the automobile's electronics for establishing accurate mileage. It employs a special gear of changing the count seen on the dashboard. In addition, a magnetic sensor replaces the drive cable to track the gear turn in the transmission. The wire conducts the obtained signal to the car's onboard computer that interprets and converts the data into mileage count. The advantage of electronic odometers is that they provide better accuracy. In addition, no one can manipulate electronic odometers easily, hence giving an accurate account of the vehicle's milestone. Odometer come with an additional trip meter called trip odometer. It helps the vehicle owner determine the mileage of any particular distance without interfering with the primary odometer reading. Next is ambiometer. The ambio is also used. Ammeter is also known as ambiometer and used for measurement of electronic current, and the unit of the current measured by this meter is ampere, and it's also called ampere meter. The ammeter consists of a movable coil connected by dully with the input terminal. This coil generates a magnetic field when the current passes through it. This magnetic field in turn responds with a second field, resulting from a permanent magnet placed at the center. Spring is set to counteract the torque generated by the interaction of these two magnetic fields. Hence, when the current increases, the spring also stretches according to the magnitude of the input current. A fine needle attached to the coil shows the reading. Wiring should be done in such a way that it ensures that the maximum current flow through the ammeter circuit. Next is brake. Brake is used to stop or slow down the motion of a tractor. It is mounted on the driving axle and operated by two independent pedals. Each pedal can be operated independently to assist the turning of tractor during the field work or locked together by means of a lock. Differential lock. Differential lock is a device used to join both half axle of the tractor so that even if one wheel is under less resistance, the tractor comes out from the mud as both wheels move with the same speed and apply equal traction. PTO lever. The PTO is a switch or lever found on tractor and mower and stands for power takeoff that transfers an engine's mechanical power to another piece of equipment. This can be an electrical switch or mechanical engagement that takes engine power to operate the implement. Hydraulic lever. Hydraulics allow machines to transmit force from one point to another using an incompressible fluid. Hydraulic lever works on the same principle as the mechanical lever, a simple machine that functions like a seesaw. If one end of the lever is pushed down, the other end pushes up. If the lever is well designed, then the machine can lift a very heavy object without much effort. This is especially true when the lever's fulcrum is close to its load. Draft control lever. The draft control lever rise or lower the implement as the draft of the attached implement increases or decreases. The position of hand control lever in effect establishes the draft to be maintained. The sensing device which actuates the hydraulic system to lower or raise the hitch system is located on either the lower link or upper link depending upon the size of the tractor. The load sensing system senses the load and sends a message to the pump causing it to provide just enough pressure to overcome the load. Under no load condition, it works under less pressure. Position control lever. Position control lever is normally associated with 3-point hitch system. It provides control of attached implements and allow the pre-select and to position the implement by the hand lever system. The relative position of the hand lever and hydraulic cylinder are identical. Within the limit of valve controlling the maximum pressure, the hydraulic cylinder will automatically move the implement to its predetermined position and maintain it there regardless of any leakage in the system. So this is the end of our video. So in this video we have seen about the electrical systems in in the tractor. Thank you.